我们是一支年轻的外交队伍啊，你们这些青年的外交官，大都头一次参加这么重要的国际会议，不把这些情况掌握清楚，日后怎么应付得了非常复杂的国际斗争的局面呢？我们这个代表团200多人呐，堪称是我们新中国最大的一个代表团。它囊括了我们外交部各个部门的所有的骨干力量啊！我多么希望你们这些年轻的外交官，通过这次重要的国际会议，得到一次锻炼。我希望你们每一个年轻的外交官能够经受住这次严峻的考验。你必须参加这次考试。
总理，我明白了，我马上就去。
父亲，我还有一个事情想跟您说一下。
你先别说，我倒是想问一问，你对刚刚结束的这场朝鲜战争有没有什么感慨？
这场战争有很多意想不到，正如美国人他们自己说的，在错误的时间、错误的地点，跟错误的敌人进行了一场错误的战争。父亲，美苏英法4个国家准备最近在日内瓦召开一个关于解决朝鲜问题和印度支那问题的国际会议。在这个会议上，他们邀请了中共。
没邀请我们中华民国？
没有。
啊，这可是个危险的信号啊！一旦他毛泽东站在国际的政治舞台上，对我们的威胁就更大了。
父亲，别去想这些了。
不，有关这次会议，你一定要及时的了解情况，马上向我汇报。
我一定。
回去吧。
总理，在制装问题上，根据您的要求，我们最后研究决定，给代表团的每一个同志定制一身黑色的中山装，作为这次参加日内瓦会议的礼服。
好的。我看西服也要每人做一套，平时可以穿西服，正式场合我们就穿礼服。
其实现在很多同志只有一身军装，不过我已经开出了介绍信了，让他们抓紧定做。
哎，对了，何子峰啊，去日内瓦以后，安全保卫工作你一定要抓好啊！毕竟是资本主义国家，政治情况很复杂。代表团吃用穿的物品，每天都要检验。
总理，我还以为您不让我去了呢。
总理，这保卫工作是我的老本行，您放心。
主席，好，我马上过去。你的账，我慢慢跟你算。
总理，
看着没，你的问题还没完呢。
主席，
恩来啊，哎，你就要出发了，我今天就算是给你送行吧。
主席啊，这一阶段的筹备工作还是比较顺利的，代表团共200多人呢。张闻天同志为副团长，还有王家祥、李克农，可以说是规模空前呐。
你这次出访风云莫测啊，中央已经授权你全权负责，到时候你可以相机行事，不必事事请示。我今天没有备酒，那就以茶代酒吧。
谢谢主席和中央的信任。
我们头一次参加这样大型的国际会议，没有经验。哎，你前些日子去苏联向莫洛托夫同志请教，他给你提了些什么呀？
他们提了很多很好的建议啊，包括出席这种多边国际会议在外交上应该注意的一些细节。不过他对此次会议的结局并不看好。
哦，此话怎讲？
他说，参加此次会议的人都抱着各种不同的目的。美国人显然是来搅局的，法国人现在越南的泥潭里大打不胜，撤不走，自顾不暇。越南老国柬埔寨他们之间本来就有着明显的分歧和矛盾。
不管怎么说，和平替代战争，正义战胜邪恶，这是世界发展的主流啊。恩来啊，在这个举世瞩目的国际大舞台上，你们一方面要跟对手针锋相对，巧妙周旋；另一方面，要以诚相待，多交朋友。说白了，就是朋友交的越多越好，把敌人孤立的越少越好啊！
我明白呀，统一战线是我党一直以来获胜的法宝。现在我们也要把这种统战工作做到国际上去。
没错，这方面你是长袖善舞、游刃有余的高手啊！
主席过奖了。
陈老总听说你们一行要赴日内瓦，特地填了一首《满江红》与我商榷推销，其中有几句写的蛮有气魄，你看一看。
不管豺狼多诡计，我方事事持原则。
看我公尊祖折强权，欺淫惑。
这个杜勒斯刚一到这儿，就在报纸上发表讲话，对我们关于朝鲜和印度支那的政策进行恶毒的攻击。
让他喊吧，有理不在声高。
西方很多报刊都不看好这次会议，他们认为这次会议不会签订有价值的协议，即使召开了，也将会中途夭折。
恐怕这还不是最坏的情况。我现在最担心的是，通过这次会议，英法如果携起手来，他们武装干涉印度支那，那么越南人民军就会失去了战场上的优势，同时连带呢也会影响朝鲜谈判陷入到不利的局面。
所以呀，我们要想法摸清对方的底牌，尽量的分化英美。同时，对这次日内瓦会议，我们要确定一个实际的目标，在朝鲜问题上，至少要保证3·8线的稳定。在这个基础上，争取让美军撤出朝鲜。在印度支那的问题上，大的前提还是要争取和平。划定一个临时南北分界线，而且这条线呢尽量往南移，使它更有利于越南民主共和国一方啊。
我同意总理的意见。据我观察，美国和英国在各自战略目标上差异还是很大的。
对，我们刚建国的时候，英国就承认了我们，还想跟我们建立外交关系。因为朝鲜战争的爆发，所以建交的事儿呢就搁浅了。哎，原来我们能不能利用这次机会，恢复跟英国人的接触？
总理，这是苏联代表团送来的请柬，他们准备今晚在代表团的驻地举办一个欢迎各国代表的晚宴，邀请咱们前去参加。
嘿，你们看，机会是说来就来了。
How's the family there?
It's great wine.
Yeah, that's what it is. I think so.
I was speaking about Adele. What's she doing? Take a look at her. Any idea?
你好。谢谢。谢谢谢谢，谢谢你的邀请。对。好。
总理，那边那位呢，就是英国代表团团长，英国副首相艾登。
艾登先生，你好。
Good to see you. I want to say, I don't know a lot about China, but I really enjoy Chinese cuisine.
但是我对中国菜非常着迷。
And I eat at Chinese restaurants when I'm back in
我
home
经
all the
常去
time.
华人开的餐厅吃饭。
那我建议艾登先生抽时间可以到我们中国代表团下达的华山别墅来，那里有我们中国最优秀的厨师，你可以品尝到最美味、最正宗的中国菜。
Would I take that as an invitation,
我可不可以理解为
Minister
您
Joe?
对我发出了邀请？
当然。
Sure.
那我是不是同时也理解为你答应了我的邀请？
Of course. Cheers. I'll go talk to them for a minute. I'll be right back.
艾登先生，如果我们两国建立了正式的外交关系，那你将对我们的新中国有更多的了解，那就不仅仅是精美的菜肴啊。
Prime Minister, let me remind you
周先生，
that
我想提醒您，
Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland
大
have
不列颠及北
long
爱尔兰联
recognized the
王国
People's
早就
Republic
承
of
认
China.
中华人民共和国。
The problem is that
现在的问
you
题
don't
是，
recognize the United
你们不
Kingdom.
承认联合王国。
不，你这话说的不对。
I can't agree with you.
这几年我们之所以没法谈，是因为在联合国你们没有支持我们。
Why do you place such importance on the UN? I mean, the UN is just rife with
联合国
trouble.
真是个麻烦的地方。
既然你们并不看重联合
Not
国，
as much as you
那
say.
为什么美国政府极力的想把我们中国置之于联合国的大门之外？
Let me say, that the only thing that the Brits and the Americans have in common is the language that we speak.
其实别无共同之处。
这我当然明白，在我们新中国成立之初，你们就派出了建教使的杜威廉先生到北京来。虽然我们的建教被搁置了，但我知道，杜威廉先生至今仍在北京继续发挥着两国之间的联络作用。
Quite right. I mean, isn't it a pity that we only have semi-diplomatic relations?
艾登先生，我们可以经过共同的努力，把这半截子的外交关系继续再往前推进一步。
Oh, well, lovely. May I ask the minister, how would you plan to advance such ties?
燕子告诉艾登先生，我们该回去了，随时欢迎他到华山别墅来做客。艾登先生，再见。
We'll get going. Welcome to be our guest at our villa anytime. Have a nice evening.
再见。再见。燕子，叫后勤组好好的准备一下，过不了几天，艾登先生肯定会来的。
文莱，好啊，这招看得好，至少我们现在摸清了英国人的底牌啊。
目前看，英国人并不打算完全和美国人绑在一起，但是我们也不能掉以轻心呐。这个杜勒斯必然会对英国人施加影响，关键是在会议的进行过程中，我们是否能够把握住舆论的主动权。
总理，来，这是大会新发的会议流程，您的讲话定在28号，美国杜勒斯的定在27号，但是杜勒斯突然要求大会把他的讲话跟您调在同一天。
文莱，听见了吧？人家这是公开叫板呐！
好，很好，我喜欢这种挑战。当面锣对面鼓，真理越辩越明。
His government has not yet been recognized by the international community. Their presence at the conference testifies their increasing influence. This conference deserves to be known as first post-World War II meeting of the five major powers: the United States, Britain, Soviet Union, France, and China.
우리는 유엔군이 즉시 우리 인민군을 풀어주고 모든 외국군이 조선에서 철수하여 새로운 통일 정부를 건립할 것을 강력히 호소합니다.
우리는 우리 대한민국 영토를 침략한 중공군의 즉각 철수를 강력하게 요구합니다. 그리고 유엔 감시하에 한반도 문제의 평화적 해결을 촉구합니다.
The United States is sincerely committed to the peaceful resolution of the Korean issue under the UN framework. However, Soviet unions have always been obsessed with making North Korea one of its satellite states and expanding its rule into the entirety of Korea. Aggression in Korea by the Chinese Communists is one of the biggest obstacles for the reunification of Korea and a peaceful resolution. Meanwhile, the U.S. and the ROK Common Security Treaty has no designs of aggression. Period. Thank you.
中国政府认为，亚洲问题，特别是朝鲜与印度支那的问题，完全是由美国在亚洲的侵略政策和战争政策造成的。我们支持朝鲜南日外长关于恢复朝鲜国家统一的3项建议。我们诚挚希望会议的参加者郑重考虑这一建议，使这一建议成为和平解决朝鲜问题的协议的基础。至于杜勒斯先生刚才的发言，我认为完全违反了亚洲人民的利益。无可辩驳的事实表明，美国在亚洲推行的侵略政策是造成亚洲局势紧张和不安的根源。美国在亚洲的侵略行动应该被制止，亚洲的和平应该得到保障，亚洲各国的独立与主权应该得到尊重，亚洲人民的民主权利和自由应该得到保障，对亚洲各国内政的干涉应该立刻停止，在亚洲各国的外国军事基地应该撤出，驻在亚洲的各国的外国军队应该撤退。这一次日内瓦会议讨论的是亚洲问题，我认为亚洲的命运和未来不应该由西方政治家来决定，所有亚洲国家都有权关切亚洲大陆的事情，亚洲各国之间的集会磋商才是解决亚洲问题的重要步骤。这次会议没有邀请印度代表和印度尼西亚代表参加，是一件令人遗憾的事情。我们尊重各国人民的选择和维护他们自己的生活方式及国家制度不受外来干涉的权利。同时，我们也要求其他国家用同样的态度对待我们。只要世界各国都遵守这些原则，我们认为在不同社会制度下的世界各国是可以和平共处的。
The content of the wording of Joe's remarks is standard propaganda for the Chinese government.
See, the problem is the media around the world is going to take all this in. Frustrates me.
But we have to admit that Joe is indisputable in terms of logic and the content of his remarks.
Did you just say indisputable?
Yeah, he's a tough opponent. He's really a tough opponent. By the way, according to the conference agenda, the general debate starts on the Korean issue. We better brace ourselves for it, you know?
Well, you're right there, but God, this Joel is just... God, he's the devil.
He's the devil incarnate. Don't forget it.
Yeah, I do. Don't worry. Yeah.
恩来刚刚发来电报说啊，根据3天的会议情况来看，朝鲜问题呢，已经形成了僵持的局面。因为美国呢，就不想解决问题。法国在朝鲜问题上是默不作声，英国呢也不想表态。作为我们，对解决朝鲜问题决心绝不能改变。
原来我们最担心的是英美法联合起来向我们发难，现在这个担心已经不存在了。美国一言九鼎的局面，危机四伏啊！
朝鲜问题啊，最终不可能通过这样一个会议来解决。只要恩来他们始终把握舆论的主动权，最大限度的广交朋友，分化帝国主义阵营，那就是胜利。
是啊，恩来在电报中还说，英国副首相艾登想恢复和我们的关系，这一点我们应该引起重视。这个人呢，很可能是下届英国首相的热门人选。主席，和他多接触啊，很可能会成为这次日内瓦会议的一个意外的收获。
电告恩来，利用这个机会，设法在中英关系上寻找一些突破。
好。
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to put something on record.
The Chinese aggression on Korea not only violates the UN's previous resolutions on Korea, but also constitutes a flagrant trampling of the most authoritarian world body of the UN. Thank you.
杜罗斯先生，是美国率先发动了武装干涉朝鲜的战争，并且操纵联合国非法追认了美国的这一侵略行径。这就是联合国置于朝鲜战争交战的一方，从而失去了公平处理朝鲜问题的资格。否则，我们今天也不会坐在这里举行这样一个和平解决朝鲜问题的会议。你们要注意，今天的会议与联合国毫无关系。
Please let the Delish recognition know I'd like to hold a private meeting with Mr. Eden. Okay. Thank you.
You're going to meet Mr. Eden, aren't you?
Oh, yes, I am. I would like to know why America's closest ally would sit quiet and aloof while we're having a dynamically charged situation.
You know that the British are not that much in sync with us when it comes to Asian topics, isn't it?
Why is that?
Well, sir, with all due respect, you should be a little bit more flexible when dealing with them.
I don't believe that. I don't agree with it either.
Well, taking them too much head-on might be counterproductive, believe me.
Secretary, the President said that Mr. Eden isn't in.
And when will he return?
Have no idea.
No cue either, sir.
Mr. 艾登先生，欢迎欢迎啊！
Mr. Adam, welcome.
我们刚刚吵完架，你就到这里来做客，恐怕会有人不高兴吧
Oh, no. You don't need to worry about that at all. More important than anything, your delicious cuisine, because my appetite determines my position.
我的胃口决定了我现在的立场。
A moment. Trevelyan, please. I have a surprise.
我给您准备了一个惊喜。
Premier Joe.
嚯，杜威廉先生，你不是一直在北京吗？
I called for him to come. Now, you had mentioned the issue of half diplomacy that needed to be discussed.
半截子外交问题，我觉得这次我们需要探讨。
So, I called Trevelyan from Beijing to fully discuss it with you.
欢迎欢迎，我们确实应该好好的谈一谈。
And don't you think we need a Chinese Trevelyan?
您不需要一个中国的杜威廉吗？
啊，幻香同志，这位是我们欧洲司的司长幻香同志。
Mr. Huan and I are like old friends from Beijing.
幻先生和我在北京的时候就是。
以后具体的事情由他们来谈，我们现在一起进餐。我让厨师为你准备了地道的中国菜。
I can't wait. Well, but I have a trouble. I feel with my chopsticks, I'm looking at the food, it looks beautiful like art. I feel I can't touch it, I don't want to destroy it.
艾登先生，这只是我们中国8大菜系中的一种蔬菜，其他的菜系还有很多可口的菜品，等你下回来慢慢的品尝。
Well, I have on my mind to ask you if you would be so kind. Would you sign this lovely menu because I want to keep it as a memento? Thank you so much. I feel a little embarrassed to ask, but. Well, that's just so nice. I mean, I'll keep it forever. You know, I can keep this. Going to go in a frame on the wall.
我将把它裱在墙上。
谢谢艾登先生的赞赏。
Thank you for your
来，
appreciation.
为我们中英两国人民的友谊干杯！
干杯! I'm really afraid.
Eden, old chap, I drink Moutai all the time in Beijing. It's marvelous stuff. You should try it.
Okay. Ganbei.
Ganbei.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Lovely.
他说口味很可爱。
这种酒叫茅台酒。
茅台。
中国贵州有一个小镇叫茅台镇，那里有一条河叫赤水河，在河的沿岸有许多地方盛产白酒。
Sounds like a lovely, magical place to visit.
这听起来是一个很令人神往、很美丽的地方。
中国还有很多神奇的地方，等我们中英两国建立了正式外交关系，欢迎艾登先生来中国访问。
That sounds nice. That sounds nice.
这听起来很棒。
Thank you, Prime Minister. On the matter, as you had mentioned, that it would be possible to arrange a charge d'affaires. The proposal
两国可以
looks
互
excellent.
派外交代办，这个提议非常棒。
If it would be possible that during this 2-day period we could sign the agreement.
签署一个正式的协议。
完全可以。
It's a deal.
说定了。
一言为定。
It's a deal.
Oh, great. Oh, great. I feel I can take the chopsticks and start eating this wonderful meal together. Please.
This is the Chinese food. Oh, this is a Chinese cuisine. And I will give you this like a gift. This is the China postcard. In China, Beijing, this is the Forbidden City. And this for you. And this is the Tiananmen Square. Welcome to China. Thank you for coming.
Is this Beijing?
Yes, in Beijing. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for coming. See you later.
Thank you very much. See you.
好，你好。
总理。
嗨，东方领域。
快来看看我们的工作。
好，你们这里好热闹啊！怎么样？这几天又有多少记者提出采访申请啊？
您先坐。
好，你坐。
太多了，我都想不到啊！这次啊，咱们中国代表团成了日内瓦会议的最大热门。我粗略的算了一下，现在啊，仅登记要求采访的外国记者就有上千人。我跟林月都犯愁，咱们这新闻之家啊，怎么装得下呀？
是啊，总理，我想等我国与英国互派外交代表的协议一签署，来采访的记者会更多呢。
越多越好，多多益善。我们这次参加会议的主要目的就是广交朋友，要在国际社会中树立起我们新中国的形象。龚鹏领域啊，我觉得我们现在的宣传工作还是不够灵活，这种方式还是有点呆板，只能算是守株待兔。
您的意思是，我们主动出击？
没错。我想你们可以为那些对我们关系友好的记者举行一个小型的宴会，这样可以进一步加深你们的感情啊。对那些和我们关系一般、不太了解我们的记者，可以举行一个大型的冷餐招待会，让他们喝我们中国的酒，吃我们中国的菜。先体味一下我们中国的味道。
好的，我明白了。
哟，乔老爷，您怎么能干这种粗活啊？平时您可都是坐轿子的人，我来帮您。
今天没有轿子可坐了，今天是来抬轿的。
哎呀，这龚大姐有您这样的丈夫，可真够幸福的。
夫唱妇随嘛。
龚姐，原来你在这儿呢。他们准备差不多了。
啊，我这就好。
你本来就美，化上妆更美了。
行啦，你就别夸我了，一会儿把我夸晕了，我想话都找不着北了。
我听我姐说啊，当年在重庆八路军办事处的时候，周总理就选你当新闻发言人。你说是不是因为你长得好看又有气质，然后还会那么多国的语言，所以才选的你啊？
行了，别听姐瞎说。
你跟乔叔叔啊，是天造地设的一对儿，郎才女貌。我一直把你当成我的偶像的。
其实啊，我这个人很普通的，就是运气比较好。我在周总理身边干了很长一段时间的工作，直接感受他的言传身教。要说呢，周总理啊，才是最有风度、最有智慧的外交家。
你说我将来能成为像你一样的外交官吗？
你当然能啊，你只会比我做得更好。长江后浪推前浪，这是历史的规律。走吧。
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Director General of the Information Department, Foreign Ministry of People's Republic of China, Ms. Gong Peng.
Hello, everyone. The purpose of Chinese delegation visit to Geneva is to show the image of China to the world on the international stage, and to make more friends on this rare opportunity. Please enjoy.
Hello, Miss Guo. How are you? Do you remember me?
Tom. Nice to meet you here.
They got my message and they came here with me today.
George. Matu.
Hello.
Great to meet you here. It's really happy to see you guys from Chongqing.
It's been 10 years since the last time in Chongqing. I didn't see you and you didn't change, not even a bit. As beautiful and charming as ever.
Neither have you. How is your leg? Had the shrapnel been removed?
Thanks for asking about my poor leg, Miss Gong.
I remember. Your leg was injured during the Japanese bombing of Chongqing. The shrapnel was not removed back then. I still remember it hurt badly during the damn cold winter.
Yes, you recommended me a good surgeon in Beijing Union Hospital. He was in exile in Chongqing. I got an operation after turning back home, and I recovered very well. I got rid of this Jap little gift at last.
Do visit China if there is a chance. Our country has a big change.
For sure we will. We are very focused on your country. We follow the development very well. And we are planning some special documentary about China.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Mrs. Gong, I'm from East Nearest Korea. As far as I know, before the proclamation of the People's Republic of China, Western agencies and journalists were expelled from Chinese mainland and have been denied entry until this day. Are you going to isolate yourself from the Western world by this iron, whatever it's called?
Mr. Journalist, you said that Western journalists are not welcome in China. Could you tell me where, when, and who did you get this information from? I can tell you frankly, at the beginning of this year, Italian journalist has visited China. We've never set up any barrier that you have mentioned before, but there are some people want to undermine the relationship between China and the Western countries. Actually, not long ago, we have lifted the ban on American journalists coming to China. As for why American journalists are still unable to enter China, I think you can ask United States SS Mr. Dulles.
响彻我们沐浴的潮。